and tidy edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Hello. Hi. Happy Saturday. Saturday. How's it going? Beverly. Thought you were traveling a lot. Thanks for all the timestamps. You've been a timestamp machine lately. Not a time machine, a timestamp machine. Hi, Constance. Welcome. Hi, Terry. Hey, Shem. Hey, Aisha. Hi, Julie. Rainy. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be hot here today. I saw the 10-day forecast for next Sunday was 110. It's probably not gonna be that, but I was like, oh, that's crazy. Hi, Elena. Oh, you might like this first bit that I'm gonna do the buttons and buttonholes first, but we have a dog cone collar, you know, the kind that dogs wear when they're when they need to. And Loki's was getting a rip in it, so I'm replacing it. I made a little pattern. So, oh, thanks, Constance. Today's a little bit more of a hangout because I sewed the whole project for this week on Thursday. So I am just hanging out and sewing with you guys today. But I will be doing the buttons and buttonholes on it. It's sitting right here. I have my home machine I'm going to pull over here. So, cone of shame, exactly. Yes, so I have been, they think that he got a little foxtail in his paw, but they couldn't find it, but it's a little bit infected. So I've been putting on little socks. Someone a long time ago gave me this huge, I don't know what it was. It must have been like an advent calendar of Harry Potter socks. Nobody needs 21 pairs of socks in any kind of fandom, I don't think. Maybe you do. It depends on the fandom, right? So, Shem, you're the one who told me I had to sew today and I had to make gift bags. What are you talking about? Hey, Brenda. I'm glad you're here too. Hey, Mary. So yeah, I've been, there's like all different kinds of sizes of socks in there, and they were all like mostly brand new, and I've had them for years, and I was like, I'm just gonna hold on to these just in case. They've been coming in so handy. I took the little tiny ones, like the little like ankle, below the ankle ones, and then I put them on his foot, and I put a little piece of tape around there. So he can't lick it or bug it or anything, and it was staying a little bit cleaner, you know? So he's on the mend now that they were like, okay, this is just a little infection. So, yeah, so, oh, okay. Got it, Shem. So, I have the blouse. So this is what we worked on this week. Turned out really cute. I tried it on. It fits really great. I can't wait to put the buttons and buttonholes on it and show you guys. I was all ready to like take photographs and all that. Don't touch the machine, please. We don't want oil on that. But it turned out really cute. It looks a little maternity on me, I will say. Hello, 4 a.m. Nice. This is Eunice. Welcome, Eunice. You might not be alone here. There's an early morning crew from Australia that shows up. Hi, Eliza. How's it going? Yeah, exactly, Constance. Yeah, the one I have here, it's not fabric. It's like, it's Tyvek. You know what Tyvek is? Hi, Mullen. So you hear it. It's like a Tyvek, a very stiff kind. I don't know. It's not Tyvek. That's a brand name. So, but see, he ripped it. So I just made a little pattern piece. You know, you can just trace off the section. And I'm going to sew that today. I kind of picked a crazy fabric, though. I picked this fabric. It's reflective. Ooh, I don't know. It's reflective. So if I put this, I'm going to put this on the outside. I can't even look at it. It's like, nah. But this was from this really cool project I did a long time ago. And I think it was a military project for the military. And I have this little scrap of fabric left. So finally I'm going to use it. If you saw, I wonder if I could show you with a flashlight. Let's see how reflective it is. It's so highly reflective, it's overkill. You know, when you put reflective things on something like kids and pets and gear or whatever, just use a little bit. You do not need to use a lot. And if you've spent a lot of money on it, you'll be happy you just used a little bit in key places. That's all you need, a little hit. The reason I use the whole thing is because it's built into the fabric, and this is like the right texture and stiffness. So you have, Terry, where'd you get it? This is your first time joining your phone? Nice. Yeah, the pleats, exactly. Hey, Curtis, how's it going? Sewing Peep. Hi, Claire. Hi, Edel. How's it going? Edel or Edel? I might not even be saying either of those correctly. Norway has my favorite licorice. Yeah, like, you know, Aisha, honestly, this could be on like maybe 2 of the sides of the cone on the outside, right? And the other 2 could be the black. But I don't want that against his face because it might, I don't know, visually be kind of intense. So yeah, anyway, here's our little blouse. This was the Atlas top. Okay, so I was thinking about the torquing that I got on here. And you know, honestly, what's happening here is because of the curve. So like if I were to straighten this out, just gently straighten it out, it's fine. It's because it's so wide that it's torquing like this. Because I actually feel like the bindings on there are really nice and smooth, you know? But when it's on a curve, this length here is shorter than this length, and so it crumples up on itself, and then it really encourages those torque lines. I don't have my light on. Maybe I'll turn my light on. So I'll turn down the brightness too. I don't actually think my light makes it warmer in here. It's just one of those, it's the placebo effect. You know what I mean? So lately I've been keeping it off. Right, Mullen? I know. Oh, we got the Tyvek staples from Tyvek envelope from Staples. Oh, that's smart. They wrap houses in it here in the States to kind of increase the R value, which is like the insulation value, you know? So, hi, Helen. How's it going? Yeah, I think it turned out really cute. They keep peeling off. Oh, because it's like a tape kind. You can get reflective tape. Reflective tape is now very affordable. Lights do emit it. Totally, Elena. I don't think this fluorescent light does. You know what I mean? Like but it does make me feel warmer. So maybe it's just a different kind of heat. I don't know. So yeah, so if you just get reflective strips that you can sew into the seam or just stitch it on there, it might, maybe just stitch those on there, can you? Oh yeah, that's so smart, Terry. They always have those like, you know, trash barrels there. Oh, okay, Aisha. I really am convinced this light makes me warm, so we'll see. All right, so we're gonna put some buttons and buttonholes on this first, and then I'm gonna sew my little dog collar thing, you know, because he needed it yesterday and I never got to this project. You know how it is, right? So I should have done it when I brought the thing in. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my machine over here. Oh. Oh, yeah, exactly, Elena. I feel like a lot of that lighting now is a little outdated. They don't really use it anymore. Let's see if we can do this. Why did that work so well? Oh, you know why this won't work well? Well, we'll see. I know why this worked so well. Is because it's clamped to the sewing machine table. I don't ever clamp cameras to the machine table because of vibration. This probably won't be so bad, and it's temporary. So I just need to find my plug now. Can an FBA done on top with tucks? If so, how do you think it would go? Yeah, your FBA is probably not going to be near where the tucks are. Let me show you just a second. Ah, my thumb, man. I am trying to use the wrong cord. I had all this set up. Where'd my cord go? Oh, it's way over here. No, it's not. It's not. It's here. It's here. Where is it? It slipped down. Here it is. It was caught on something. Sorry. Thought I had all this worked out. Okay. Now I just gotta make sure I don't drop anything while I'm plugging it in. I don't know how people make videos using home sewing machines. The angle is so hard to get. My hat is off to those folks. It sounded so loud. No, and I lost my little, my threading. Usually I loop this over the camera. Huh. That's funny. I don't think I thought of that. Where can I loop this over? I will try this. I do not think this will go well, but we will see. No, that won't work at all. I don't think that's going to work. What if I do... I usually loop this over something, but I don't have that something right now. We'll try that. Hey Beth, how's it going? Not sure what my backup plan is. When I usually set up my home machine, we loop the cone over the camera. Well, you don't know that I'm doing that, but I do. But how do I get the angle of the, oh my God. How do I get the angle of the camera correct, you know? Oh, right, Mullen? I know. Mine is in the darkest area of my shelf, and it only helps because I go through it fast enough. If you have fabric that you want to put on a shelf, I know it doesn't look as pretty, but if you fold it so that the selvages are facing out from the shelf, that really helps. Because even if the edge of the selvage gets faded, it's not as catastrophic as if it's the fold or the middle of the fabric, right? So that's my tip. Because I used to have this really cool studio. It was a room, but the couple that built it used it like a greenhouse. So he wanted an actual, like a more weather protected room. So it was the top half of it on 3 walls was windows. Windows like half all the way to the ceiling. And and then there was a counter that went around the 3 walls, which was awesome. And then drawers. There were 85 drawers in there. It was so cool. And in the center of the room, I just put my 2 big pattern tables butted up against each other, the long sides together. So I had like 8 by, I think it was like 8 feet by 8 feet of cutting table space. And then I put my sewing machines in a corner, and then there was a wood stove in the other corner and a door on the other side. So I didn't want curtains in there. I just had like wispy curtains, and I hid all my fabric underneath on the pattern tables underneath them. But I put all the bolts, I had all these bolts of fabric there, and I put them selvages out. And people would always walk in and be like, "Wow, what a cool space! But where's all your fabric?" And I had like a little curtain that hung over it. So. Yeah, exactly, Elena. That helps. Yeah, the open shelves are pretty. All right, so we're using these genuine pearl buttons, white. Genuine pearl. Let's get our stuff out. I have a little bowl that I always use. Put my buttons in. We have our button guide. The Simplex. I forgot that I'm storing it over by my button box now. It used to always be on this cart, and I'd always have to walk over to the cart to get it, and I was like, I'm going to be smart and put this on my button box, maybe forgetting it's on the button box. So, we fancy today. I don't know, they look like, look at they've got like a cool modeled back. Like, I don't know, they're really pretty. Actually, the other side is really pretty. Look at that. See? It's half and half, but this is the right side. I wonder how they do that. Like, how do they get the nice side? Maybe, I don't know. Not a button expert. You need lots more storage, yeah. I always recommend storing your fabric like books, you know, like on their ends, so then you can just grab one and not upset the whole pile. All right, so I'm gonna mark my buttonholes first. So here's our placket. And I like to put, where's my ruler? A clean ruler, because all my rulers are filthy from Sharpies. Just slide it under there like that. So now I can, you know, pin against it. Oh, Eliza with the FBA. Are you still there, Eliza? Yeah, so your FBA is going to happen. See, here's the dart. It's going to happen away from the tucks. You're going to slice from here over. It wouldn't even disrupt your tucks. Just do your FBA like you normally do. Yeah, okay. What do we think? I'm thinking like that. right? So now I just kind of make sure I get it pretty even. And sometimes I use chalk, but when I know I want to take the photograph of it and I'm going to be sending it to hearts, I try not to use anything that'll stick there because it's not going to get washed before I send it to them, you know? So, all right, so now we have our spacing. And then the last thing I do, I like to put these like way far over to the edge here. I have tried to make my button marking more sophisticated. I have tried really hard. This just works for me. And then I always go in the middle of my band here, and I will use something on my throat plate to help me stay in line. So it's like 7/8 of an inch. Ugh, I hate dividing that. But we can do the here a marker for that. Would have been probably better to do it first. So we'll do 3/8 and a smidge. See what we think, something like this. What are you all working on? Are you just hanging out and sewing with me today? That's not, why am I measuring from that side? It'd be so much easier if I just measured from this side. Geez, I really made that hard on myself. Okay, something like that. And then this is the top of my buttonhole. I love that you guys are all talking about preservation. There are quite a few people, a part of the So-So community, that are in preservation or archiving or library or museum work. It's kind of cool. All right, so when I'm figuring out the length of my button, sometimes I do something as fancy as this. I just put the button down and then I lift it up. Right? And then now I have the full length and width of the button. This one I don't have to worry about it. That's why it was so hard to do. But if you had a really thick button, you need to account for the length and the thickness of the button for your buttonhole length. So what I do when I have just like skinny button like this, I mark the end like this. And then when I go to sew it, I will put my ends on either side of the pin. Now if I got this too high up, I will have to move all these down. Like if I don't want my end to be higher than this, you know, I can go, you know, I'll just move it down a little bit like this. See how fancy I am? I just kind of do it like that. Buttonholes aren't as permanent as you think, you know. You can, if you don't like it, you can just take it out and sew it again. So, and that's how I do it. I mark the button when it's skinny. I just mark the whole length of it. Oh, nice, Helen. You're making, oh, so you're testing it out for yourself, Diane. I was like, wait, isn't that already out? I see what you're saying. Cool, cool. The leather version 3. Oh, yeah, you're back in town and you're working on your sloper some more, Mullen. I am so invested in the progress you've been doing. What's really coming through in your posts in the guild about it is how excited you are. That really makes me excited too. So that's really cool. You're buttoning up your jacket, so to speak, finishing, lining, installing hem, and pig stitching. Oh yeah, so you're finishing it up. Doing all the hand sewing on your daughter's Bo Peep cape. Bo Peep cape. Bo peep cape. I have to say it 3 times. Okay. You're knitting socks, teaching the Pietra. Hi, Amy. Oh, yeah. I've had to do, I really felt like I got lucky with that popover camp shirt I made because I didn't have to do buttonholes, but I had to do that one time. I was like, oh, I don't like this. This is not fun. All right, so now I'm just moving my pins off to the edge here. I'm telling you, I have tried to do something fancier. If I felt confident in my marking, whatever stuff I like to use in marking, I would just mark the buttonhole. But here's the deal. The little window of where I sew my buttonhole is so small that I sometimes can't see the marking. So that's why I put the pins all the way off to the right, and I can just see them outside of my presser foot. So that's why I've tried to change it, and that just works. So I do it. Okay, so now take out that ruler. I'm gonna slide my machine here toward me a little bit. And I don't really have to test fat thread. Like, I don't have to test my thread out usually on my home machine, but I do when I do a buttonhole. Just to get everything going. Oh, it's going to be a struggle with that cone of thread back there. Let's move it closer. See if that helps. Put my buttonhole stitch on. I have a pretty basic Bernina. That's what I'm using. See my buttonhole. That's the side it's going to sew, that little blinking thing. I did use fray check just to get, oh wait, what? Oh yeah. Okay, I have to get a little closer. I hope that's okay with you guys. Oh good, how is she feeling? Is she feeling better? She was not feeling good the other day after being at the show. Like, she got a little sick. All right, so this little hump on my presser foot there. See this little hump right here? I know that that's where my needle goes in. So I line things up to that. You know, you just kind of go, okay, you know, like get something you can kind of go, okay, where's that landing? You know, and just, that's right there. It's right in front of it. So I trust that. The Bernina has a little arm on the bobbin case sticking out of it, and there's a hole through it. When you're doing buttonholes, make sure you thread that arm. If you don't believe me, check your manual. Makes a huge difference. Yeah, oh yeah, I know, she does. She's feeling better? Okay, good. Cone of thread in a mug. Well, it's the problem is that I don't have a pivot point for the thread. Like, the thread should come up above, right? It should like come way up high and then go down. And right now I have it just kind of scraping the machine back there. So it's not unruly. Okay, which foot are we today? I've got 3. Let's see, I need to move you. I am breaking one of my rules and wearing flip-flops today. I do not like flip-flops, but I just wanted to not wear something like a heel. Like, I wear clogs a lot and I didn't want to wear something. All right, let's do it. Oh, this is, I can tell. Oh no, maybe it was okay. Sometimes I have one buttonhole, the first one, where it sounds kind of clunky, and I just stop if I think it sounds that way. I just pull it out right now, right? There's one that, it'll look good on the top, but it'll give me thread vomit underneath. We aren't about that thread vomit life. So, you know, put the pin to my shoulder there. I reset my beginning of my buttonhole. And I'm just kind of looking at that hera marker. Now I'm just past my needle. And then I just go back up. Ooh, we're stuck. Why are we stuck? There we go. Why are we stuck? Oh, I changed I didn't press this. I pressed my other thing. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can get this back on track. This is how you try and do a buttonhole in the middle. Sometimes I forget. What I did was I pressed the buttonhole button again, and it went to the tailor buttonhole. So it was starting a new buttonhole. That's why I wasn't going reverse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start way down here, put it back on 9. It's going to do, no, there we go. Here, press here. All right. I don't have my pin to tell me, but I can see my buttonhole this time. There we go. All right, and then I usually just pick it up, pull it to my next one, go back past it, and then I go back again, pull the threads so they stay out of the way. I do that so there's a little slack, and then I don't like kind of yoink on that other buttonhole. Back, forward, grab the threads, line it up on my dent. I try not to sew the tips of the pins. You can sew over pins like when you're sewing a straight seam, but I'm not going to do that with my zigzag so close together. That's not a good idea. One more. Now I'm feeling cocky. It's vibrating. I can see the camera vibrating. There we go. Let's check them out. Nope. It has that function and it doesn't work. So they all look a little different, you know, that's the charm, right? That looks a little small. Okay, so let's trim all these threads here. Yeah, I do that on button-ups too, Terry. On this one, I didn't feel like I could because of the placket, but well, I could have. But you're right, on all the button-up projects I do that go all the way through to the hem, I start at the bottom too. You know what though? I think that's because it's usually buttoned left over right. That's why I do that. When it's buttons right over left, I do it from the top, and when I do it left over right, or from the bottom. I think that's what it is, now that I'm thinking about it. But I do think that's a good strategy, just starting at the bottom, because those are pancake buttonholes, right? We eat the first pancake, but maybe it doesn't look as pretty. So we still keep it, but you know. All right, so I'm gonna cut my buttonholes here, probably to the horror of many, but I just use my seam ripper. Yes, I do have a chisel, I'm not like, the chisel's fine, but I don't know. It's either usually too big, you know? All right, and then I make sure I get the full length of it, so I will actually get right under that bar tack there and cut it. Ouch. I have to say my thumb is actually bending a little right now. It's not pleasurable, but it's bending a little after my therapy session yesterday. Okay, so I do not use any kind of glue. I just pull all this stuff and cut it off. Because once you get rid of this, no more will happen. But use the glue if you like that. And I have nothing against it. There's that one little rogue stitch. When I had to restart the buttonhole. Down. Yeah, this is the Hearts Fine Cotton. They told me what the fabric was in the Instagram post. I'm still gonna like link it in the description of the video. I feel like they said it was called Dusty Pink or Dusky Pink, something like that. And I'll be sewing the halter later this month with the same fabric, but in an olive green color. It's one of those fabrics where you're never gonna get it perfectly pressed. Like it's gonna look a little bit like laundered, you know? But it's kind of charming. I have to say, I like it. It feels very sturdy. It also feels like one of those fabrics that you would have it for years, right? It's gonna get nicer and nicer, you know? I haven't made anything with it, so I don't know yet. Oh, that's so smart. You are so patient. You are so patient. I've gotten more patient. You know, I'm a planner by nature. So while I am very much will do 10 different projects in a half hour, you know, I'm like, ooh, that's a good idea. Let's do that. Oh, did you? Yeah. You don't need no stinking glue. I bought some for the buttonhole SBS, but I never used it. It's still in the package. I was like, all right, I'll try this. And then I just kept forgetting. But yeah, like you've already stitched around this. So once you get rid of all these threads, no more can unravel. So I feel like the glue was literally one of those things where they're like, they created a market for it, you know? But people's buttonholes look really nice with it. It does look really tidy. Some fabrics, if I get the buttonhole perfectly on grain, I can just get this nice little fuzz line, and it's, oh, I love it, you know? I haven't tried any of my buttonholes, but looks pretty good. I don't have the nicest buttonhole maker. These look okay. Sometimes they look really good, and sometimes they look, you know, they're fine. Once I'm done with this last one here, I'm going to show you the bobbin so that all those Bernina users out there know about that little arm to thread. Someone in my stream told me it when I was early streaming because I didn't know about it. I hadn't looked at my manual, you know. See, look at that nice little line of fuzz right there. Oof, I love that. It's basically like you're creating a little, like a selvage or like a rug, you know, that has the little edge. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is when you do a Bernina. Not all machines have this, just Berninas. Where are my pins here? My pins are in crisis right now. They are all intermingled. They're all on one pin cushion. So you see this little arm right here? So when you thread your bobbin, if you have a Bernina, you know, put your bobbin in there, go through your little disky disc thingy, right? And then from there, go into this little arm and just poke the thread through. I'm at an odd angle to do this. It's a nice big hole, like that. So don't forget to do that. Oh, that's awesome, Mimis. That is really cool. What pattern did you use? Was it for you or someone else? I love hearing that. I'm surprised we made the cone work on here, but I'm really glad that worked. Oh, it was more incentive. Interesting. I tie my cords in a little knot. Let's see, can you see? And then I, nope. Oh, wham. And then I hang them on a little hook back there. Or drop them on the ground and hunt around for it later. Put this over here out of the way so I don't trip on it. Okay. Would you like me to sew one button? Let's put this back. Oh, okay. A basic bodice pattern. Is that the name of the pattern company? That's a good one. Basic bodice. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get 2 strands of thread. Where have all the needles gone? I have this one big chunky one, and that's it. Oh, there's one, I think. Oh no, that's a pin, shoot. Oh, there's one right there, I see one. No one else look for needles by doing that? Ay, ay, ay. There we go. Okay, I have to say, like, that fact that I could just pick that up with my thumb, that gives me hope. All right, I put 2 strands. We're probably gonna watch me struggle to thread the needle, but I'm gonna put both cut ends. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, so did you make your own pattern or did you use a pattern company? But yeah, you just use a button up. That's awesome. There were the socks lost in the dryer. What? There was a sock. Oh, exactly, right? My needles. All right, so see how I have both, these are both the cut ends. We're gonna leave the loop at the bottom there, because this is a piece of thread folded in half. And we're gonna put both the cut ends through the eye of the needle. You can do them individually, or if you can get both through, great. And then just leave it like that. Now you don't have to make a knot when we go to sew our first one. So let's mark our buttonholes though. Put that over there so I don't have to rethread it. Again, I put the ruler back there. Nothing like trying to not pin the other side of your shirt, right? All right, and often, like if I was doing a button up, like went all the way through the hem, I would pin in between the buttonholes every so often and get it so that it won't shift when you go to mark your buttons. But because of this popover placket here, it really helps me. And then I put a pin at the top of the buttonhole. So if, you know, because the gravity is going to make your garment pull down out on the button, right? So you want to use the button like a hook, like a hanger, right? And so I make sure that it's closed, which is kind of hard with this camera angle. And I put my pin straight up and down. If you want to use a marker, you can, but I find that you can get it on your thread of the buttonhole. Oh, cool, Shem. That does take practice. Like I bought myself a thimble, but I haven't been able to use it. And this is also what I do too. I'll put my pin in here, and I don't want to like get through some of the fibers. Maybe I didn't missed clipping on the sides of my buttonhole. So I actually go like this, like kind of scrape my pin, make sure I'm past all that and it's loose, and then I stick the pin in again, straight up and down, because you want it to be directly above the under placket, right? These are my favorite little pins right now, these green ones. These are those Bowen pins. I got these in a Fabric Godmother box and I love them. They're like the right thickness, the right length, everything, plus they're green. And then I unbutton. See how I got this one? That was the one I didn't like scrape up and down. Thankfully with this fabric, I can see the needle, the pinhole. Why are you acting weird? There we go. That one was acting a little weird. Okay, there we go. Something I always forget to do is making sure they're centered on the placket. So give it a gander. Like, is it looking like it's centered, you know? And if it's not, you know, maybe it's your buttonholes, but I would probably try and correct it if you feel like it can be corrected now. There's nothing like sewing all your buttons on, weaving all the shanks, and there's two buttons that are like off, you know, by like 1/4 of an inch from all the others, and you're like, you got to take it out and do it again. This first buttonhole's a little messy still because this is the one I had to start over again. So I'm just looking at it. Oh yeah, you put it here so that you can push against the needle. Yeah, I like that thing that grabs the needle to pull it. It's like a grab it or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. So I'm just looking at where these are at. See, because this one's between the 3/8 and the 1/2. So I just want to make sure. If your buttons are all over the place, you can, you know, or your buttonholes are all over the place, then you can, you know, you can do that. That's fine. Here's another way to check. I can move this one over a little bit. Line up your edge of your placket to this edge here and put it center of the buttonhole. And line up these edges here so you don't fold it at an angle. All right, and then I'll just sew one of these on. So I do have a new foot for my machine that sews buttons on, and it has a little, like a tongue that the thread, like it just sits between the two stitches as it's going back and forth in the hole of the button. And that little tongue, you can raise it up to hold the thread up high. And then that way there's like a gap, and then you can afterward weave your shank. I'm finding that it saves me no time, like none at all. The only thing I found that may be comparable to doing it all by hand is if you left really long tails on when you attach the button with it, and then you use those to weave your shank with. That saves time, but that's about it. All right, we'll do the bottom one first. So remember how we threaded our needle so that we have our cut ends right here, right? And then this end is the loop. Oh, sorry, there we go, cut ends and the loop. Let's see where the camera is. So now we can just go, I gotta do it like this. I'm gonna take this pin out. I can see where the needle hole is. So now I'm just gonna put my needle through. We're gonna pull it all the way, and then this loop will go through like this. And there's your knot, right? That's all you have to do. All right, and then if you have 4 holes, which most buttons do, I don't know why they need 4 holes. So aggravating. I wish they just had 2. Pick how you want to do it. You want to do it cross like this, or you want to do side to side. Let's do cross. I haven't done cross in a while. And I'm holding my button up. This takes a knack. Hold your button up. And I'm going to cross over and go try and keep my thread from tangling and all that, right? So once I get my first one on there, I see I'm making sure that it's all straight right there. It's not getting weirded out. And cross is called a loop start. Oh, okay. It was someone in the cross stitch world who showed me that trick. It was working with the Hmong women that were in my community that were a bunch of, they had a hand sewing guild. They taught me using lots of strands of thread. They would use like 8 strands of thread when they did hand sewing, so they only had to do 1 stitch. And that was a huge time saver. I learned a lot of little, like watching them, you know. That's the only thing you have to worry about is that you accidentally, oh, you do that and you pull your, that's probably why the sewing fairy did that. You pull your threads out of your needle. All right, so make sure you go up. Try and go in exactly where I'm going in each time, just to keep it nice and tidy back there. I'm always pulling the button up like this, keeping it nice and taut. This is definitely a knack. Like, sometimes I get a hot mess under there. All right, so now I'm gonna do the other one, and I'm just trying to keep all these threads in a nice little area under my button. It might look a little messy, but the weaving is gonna clean it all up. I'm just gonna do this 3 times. My buttons never fall off, by the way. Not the way they do it. No, because they're really securing it. It's not weaker. There's still 6 strands. So, all right, so now we have our button on there, right? And can you see I have these 2 legs there? So you can go, you can pick these 2 holes and these 2 holes and go around it like a figure 8 like this. Or you can go these 2 holes and these 2 holes and go figure 8 like that. It doesn't matter too much. If you were doing a 2-hole button, you would want your 2 holes to be in line with your buttonhole. Don't put them horizontal. It just makes your buttonhole stick open. We're just trying to get this nice and tidy under here. So where'd my thread come out? It came out here. I'm still pulling up on my button, by the way. So now I'm going to go between the holes, right, like this. I'm going to go between like this and keep track. And now I'm going to wrap around under, go again between. Now I'm going to go around the top, and I'm just doing a figure 8. Super easy. Don't worry about where the needle is. I always scrape the back of the button. If I could, I would scrape the fabric so that when I ended my end of my like woven shank, the thread would be at the bottom, but that's a little dicey with some fabrics. You'll catch your fabric. So I just push it up against the button and I just keep doing this figure 8. And then you get this really nice woven shank. Yeah, I use double thread too because I cannot get more than that in the eye of the needle, you know. Yeah, you guys are definitely underestimating the way the Hmong women did this. They had strats, you guys. They had serious strats. They weren't just tying it off. It was very cool. And they weren't doing buttons. They were doing like embellishing and all kinds of things. They were just miracles. I just loved seeing that. That was a lot of it, but you just now see, now we have this little shank. So now we have room for the button placket of the other side. Sorry, I can't button things with this thumb right now. I have a bum thumb. Here we go. See, now it fits behind the button really nicely and it doesn't strain it. Because sometimes when you put a button on, like using your machine, which I do sometimes too, you just did, Amy. Now you know. You'll see it pulling, like pushing down into, you know, like this and kind of distorting your buttonhole. That's what's happening there. There's no space for your garment. So now I'm just going to peel back the button and I just try and go in the fabric a couple times like this. I'm just going in the fabric. I'm just securing my ends now. I learned this from them too. I will do a little knot. They didn't, I do. I use my nail as a thimble, like this, all right? And so now this is my thing that I like to do. I'm gonna poke this into the fabric here and I'm gonna slide it in the placket. So my needle is right here. I slide it in there. And I go out somewhere like this. Right? And I get my end and then I do a little tug. So I'm pushing my scissors on the button placket, right? I push pretty hard, pull the thread, you can see it drawing up, cut, and it snaps it in there and hides the whole thread. And it looks really clean. And hopefully you can see oh, could you see any of that? You see the weaving? See my little ridge there? That's the figure 8 of the weaving and the little button. It's really secure. Just looks really nice too. So that is my, don't ever call me out for not hand sewing again, but that's what I do for all my buttons. This fabric technically doesn't really need to have that spacing. It is pretty thin, but it is nice, you know, it just lays perfectly flat on the garment, which is really nice. So yeah, it is. It's really posh. It's a good way to put it. The brightness is so bright. It shows every little wrinkle. It looks like it's pulling. I promise it's not. So yeah, there we go. Okay. Now what are we sewing? I take these home. I have a little tin. This is what I do. I put them in this little tin that my friend gave me. There's my thimbles. I put a little spool of thread in there. And I take it home. And I sew my buttons on. Every time. Okay. Let's do Loki's little dog collar now. Got to batten down the hatches here. All right, so they bound the seams. I'm not gonna do that. This stuff does not fray, like, at all. So I think what I'm gonna do is just sew it right sides together, open it, and top stitch it down. Oof. The fabric it's hard to look at, right? Like this. Actually, maybe what I should do is push it to one side. That might be stronger than opening it. Oh, I didn't get a very good right angle there. How dare I? Yeah, exactly. That wasn't too bad, Terry, but it is interesting what I'm having trouble with and what I'm not having trouble with, you know? More. This is definitely falling in the sewing solutions, right? There's a sewing solution for everything. All right, we need a casing around the neck. And I got all these scraps here. I'm thinking that I'm gonna sew the bias together and make a wider casing. You know, let's see. The thumb diagnosis, basically it's a trigger finger. Was this, oh, no. It's basically trigger finger, but on my thumb. The diagnosis is, it's not like great, but it's not, I don't know, whatever. They're basically like, I have to try and stretch it. So my ligament, my tendon right here is so tight right now that we can't get it to relax. Like, I'm not going to show you what it does because it's really painful right now, but like I can bend it like this, but I can't use my head to do it. I can only use my hand to do it, right? It's a little swollen, but it's like there's a joint right here that is super, super sore right now. Nothing's wrong with my bones. It's just a tendon that is so tight that right now it is constricting, and it's eventually can get these like nodules on it, and then it can kind of freeze up, I think is how they think. So the next couple weeks they're going to try, I can feel how tight it is in there too. They're going to try and relax it, and hopefully it starts relaxing and goes back to normal. Otherwise I have to go to an orthopedist. Oh, really? It just happened out of the blue. Huh. I was like, trigger finger, it's my thumb. This is kind of a long casing. But, so yeah, hopefully we can do that. And then otherwise I have to go to an orthopedist. And he says they'd put a cortisone shot in there. So apparently that would loosen it up. But I'm really hoping we can fix it, because I want to make sure that I don't do this again. Like, I don't know what I did. It could be my gaming controller, but it happened really quick. And it's not like I game for 8 hours a day like people do, you know? Like, I'm doing it 2 hours a night and I'm really bad. So that's probably actually, being really bad at the game is actually probably what contributes to it, because I am so like, you know, I clutch my controller. So this is teaching me not to clutch my controller right now, so it's a hard lesson. I'm just making a casing right now. So I just sewed 2 layers of binding together. And now I'm understitching it on both sides. That's all I'm doing. This is a weird project. I'm winging it here. A middle finger. She tried therapy and shots and later shirt. Oh. Aggressive with the button. It's the R3. Oh, yeah, Elena. Oh, that's probably true, Aisha. That's probably true. I've had so many really weird aches and pains that I'm just like, this is weird, you know, and so I just attribute it to that. So, yeah. Let's see here. What did someone ask about this? Do I ever use my binding attachment? I do. I could set it up for the perimeter edge here for this. So we're going to, so this seam here, I need to leave a little opening right here so I could get this casing on here, right? So if I put the casing on, what if I think I'm gonna, I hope I don't regret this. So doing scissors, this is not comfortable. I'm gonna do a little cut here. We're experimenting with mine. And I'm gonna fold this back and hem it. I was gonna bind that, but I think that's actually not necessary. We'll just fold it back. and hem it. Yeah, I don't want this to happen again, so I'm hoping I can just fix it, you know? Hi, Dar, how's it going? Oh, really, Aisha? Oh my gosh, a torn meniscus. Oh, really, Elena? I don't have a PS5 yet, but the PS4. So in case you guys don't know, you know, you've seen a game controller, right? And there's these thumbsticks, right? And so you move your thumbsticks to move around and aim, things like that. So those thumbsticks, they depress. So you can do things like crouch in the game and hide or whatever, pull out a glider. You can map it to do whatever that game requires. R3 and L3, that's what it's called, depressing the thumbstick, has always bugged me. Like, I've never been good at it. And the other thing is that controllers are very obviously designed for larger hands. So my thumb is reaching really far and then depressing, doing that right there. So I actually don't think it was my controller that started this. I think it was exercising, because when I exercise and do things like, I do Pilates and like strength and weights and mobility things, right? I'm not doing like, I can't run right now because my treadmill's in my garage because my daughter's staying with us. And so when I do things like put my hands down, like, you know, like to do downward dog, sometimes I can't. I do a fist. Because I've always had wrist issues after being a gymnast when I was a kid. If you're a parent of a child doing gymnastics, be careful with gymnastics because it's really hard on your body when you're growing, right? So, you know, I'm thinking that maybe I just kind of did something to it and then the controller exacerbated it. So, oh, exactly, Aisha, I bet. It isn't natural at all, Elena. I sometimes get like numbness, you know? So it's kind of like, I wish they were more ergonomic, but you're not going to change that, are they? Okay, so I'm going to put this big casing on here. And this will also make it soft against his neck. Although this ridge of stitching, I don't know. So we're going to put this, we're going to like sew it on like a seam. I guess I could cheat if you wanted to sew one of these. What you could do, we're going to also hem this like this, right? You could attach it by sewing the casing on right sides together, right? And then just top stitching it down, clipping it and top stitching it down. That would be cool. I'm not going to, I'm going to kind of do a fake binding, and that's because that way I don't have to turn it back on itself because it's thick fabric. You remember I said 2 tears of meniscus? I know they're going to say surgery by stick. Ugh. Did I tell you guys my office mate? He had like he's been playing volleyball, I guess. Not my office mate, my office neighbor. He's been playing volleyball, I guess. I didn't know this until he walked in with a leg brace. He was like, yeah, you know, I was playing one day and it felt like, I felt this kind of pop. And then it went away. And then the next time I did it, it was really bad. And my husband was like, dude, you know, you should probably go. I was like, you can go to the doctor for that. Do I want this? Yeah, I want this on the inside like this. So after he talked to me and my husband, he was like, he made an appointment and he went. He tore his Achilles tendon or something in there. Like, it's really serious. So it's good he went to the doctor. And I was like, he's the same age as me. So I'm like, yeah, it's no joke. We are winging this. I'm going to cut this off right here. I forgot to hem this side, so let's hem this side. I'm going to line it up to that edge there and hem it. All right, and then continue. All right, and now we're going to enclose it. We'll have a little casing for the tie. Oof, this fabric, I cannot see anything. Hope it's not bugging you guys. Yeah, that I feel like that's what the guy was doing with me. He's like, we're going to try and do this for a couple weeks. And I was like, huh. I go in twice next week, but you know, he was doing all kinds of things like trying to stretch it and stuff to get it to relax. The thing is, like, the gaming I do, that's my, like, my social time and that's my hobby. That's my fun time. Oh, this is not going well, I have to say. I really don't want to let that go for obvious reasons. At least I can play Tetris. Try not to get much torquing. So what I'm doing is like going ahead and going, okay, that goes right over there, right? Like that needs to be there by the time I get there, you know, like that's why I can have to make this all fit. I don't mind if there's some tucks in there. Loki is the least judgmental pet we have. I swear he loves going to the vet. He's like a little rock star there. Little bugger. All right. So let's hope I made a big enough casing to get a tie in here now. Here we go. So I have this draw cord that I think I'm going to use. If I take the draw cord out, it's a nice soft little tube, you know? So I marked the length I need. I'm not going to use up this draw cord anytime soon. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. So that's why I thought I'd use it. Oh my goodness. That's terrible, Julie. All right. All right, so I just took out the draw cord. The good thing about this draw cord is like this is actually really nice. It's really compact, feels dense. It's like knitted in a tube kind of thing. It's not knitted, it's like braided. This is like a knit tube, so now it's flat. And I can get it through here, I'm hoping, with my loop turner. Oh, let's try this thing. I got these little, oh, do I have one that's small enough? No, this isn't it. These. I guess the wefty would have worked though. This thing. I got these elastic threaders. Should we try this? Can I get this through here? I don't know. I don't know. It's not really meant for this. Let's see. Can we get this through here? I don't know. Maybe not. Okay. Meant for elastic. And then you know, you'd go up and through this and there's like a little bite in there, like some claws. And then you can put it through your casing. I really want to use these things, but I haven't been able to use them yet. I'm going to use the loop turner. You can only use the loop turner if you can go in and out and it's flat. Like I couldn't have done this if it was sewn in a circle. Hi, Rachel. How's it going? There we go. That was nice and fast though, right? You really can't beat that. All right, let's tie this in a knot. Get that all the way through, slide it all the way down. And then we'll trim it down so it looks nice and tidy. Do this one too. This is like the softest like shoelace ever. Could use a shoelace. the same neighbor. He gave me this, like not a kit, but the stuff you can make the tips of your shoelaces. So that's kind of cool. Oh, that sounds so nice, Rachel. That's cool. All right. There we go. So now we'll sew this last. Oh wait, let's bind this outer edge. I don't have, this is a Halloween fabric. Look, it has little skulls on it. And silver skulls. So yeah, that's why that's reflective. Let's see here. How much of this do I need? I'm gonna use this one here. Won't show the dirt, right? This is not on the bias. Look at the difference. No threads, lots of threads. See all the threads coming off this? All of these, none of these are on the bias. Bummer. All right, we'll just have to deal with it. Oh, she's in the UK, Rachel. They have different things. I think they have stronger over the counters too, because, ooh, man, I was in Edinburgh once and I got so sick. Like, I got so sick. I went to a store and she gave me something and she goes, I got 2 of them so I would last the whole trip. And I did not need those 2 packages, by the way. She was like, I had to do 2 separate transactions because these aren't legal to do more than one. I was like, what? I took one, met my husband back at the coffee shop. Like, I had to go, like, from the modern area of Edinburgh, like touristy downtown modern area, walked around the, like, elevated castle area, and there was a coffee shop on the other side and the old side. And I met him there, and I was like, I feel like I'm walking on clouds. He was like, wait, what, why did you just say that? What's going on? Yeah, that stuff was strong. But I could cope, and I was scared of it the rest of the trip, so I think I took 1 more, and that was it. I still have it. It's like very expired. I think I finally got rid of it last year. So I was like, okay, Saremy. That's opioid, right? Oh, there you go. Dollar Tree? Really? Wow. This fabric sounds different to sew on. I don't know if you can. Oh, look, I could almost make it. Huh. Okay. Sorry, I forgot to use my binding attachment, Julie. It's only a little seam, so I figure by the time I would have set it up, even though it's really fast to set up, honestly. He's gonna look like Darth Vader in this thing. If he doesn't want to wear a sock, he can wear this. It's either the sock of shame or the cone of shame. Yesterday we sorted him as a Slytherin. Today it was a Hufflepuff. Well, I hope you guys can all share something that works. That's awesome that you guys all have all these suggestions. All right. we just have this one little seam now. Look at that. That actually worked good. I'm glad I did this. I think it would have been a little too complicated to do that a different way. The little one I had that I showed you guys, they bound all these seams. So I just felt like that would have been a little extra. This fabric doesn't really fray. So we're just gonna push it to the side. And then we can get this nice and flat. Make sure I don't sew the ties. Darth Pug. There we go. This will work good. I made this a little bigger than the other one, so then maybe he won't rip it, you know. Oh, this is not rippable. This is so much nicer quality than the other one. Okay, I will definitely do that, Amy. Oh, yeah, no NSAIDs for Julie. Yeah, me too, Mary. They're really great for anxiety. This is very durable. This feels good. I don't think cones really need to be really hard plastic because like, you know, if they go to lick, right, it's going to collapse against their body. It doesn't matter, right? You don't really have to have a hard plastic. Although the clear ones are kind of nice, they can see through it. He can't really see through that. Maybe I should have made it out of vinyl. How am I just thinking of that now? Wow. All right, so now I have some gift bags to sew. Let's change our thread. This is my yearly project. I'm just sewing gift bags so that I don't have to wrap presents anymore. That's true, Constance. They can't. It's kind of cute when they figure out a way to kind of line it up. Yeah, they do wreck the house. That's true. Oh, I already have a bobbin winding over here. All right, let's get rid of all of you guys. They're like backup singers sitting there waiting to get in the way though. I put my serger over there because my home machine was right there, and it's so nice having this little table right here. I feel kind of bad that it's dark black, you know, like hopefully that's, I don't know. Pugs don't, we say they don't have necks, but they really just don't have a snout. Their necks are so barrel-ish. It looks like his eyes are going 2 different directions already, so hopefully that'll help him see. He reminds me of Sid the Sloth, you know, from Ice Age. Why is this needle so... I thought I put a 16 in, but I'm kind of doubting that now. It's too hard to thread. Oh, yeah, I love those, Constance. With the pug, the thing is like his neck is so big, it's the size of his head. So that is really hard to use, but I use one of those on my cat. Those are great. All right, so what's going on here? Oh, okay, I have this little bag here, this little bag here. I'm using this free little bag from Hearts Fabric. It's kind of goofy, but I kind of like it. I'm gonna do a little French seam. This one won't be lined. So old spoonflower fabric I've had in my stash for like 10 years, maybe. Oh, I didn't change my bobbin. If I keep my fingers at the tips. It doesn't hurt so much like that. I really feel for you guys. That is no fun. My husband has the same issues. Not the same issues, sorry. He has his own issues. He has the constant pain issue. All right. Do we iron this? We could. Let's do a couple and then I'll iron. It'll be easier to sew. This is such a great scrap busting thing. Making little gift bags. So this little gift bag, this one's a little. I have all different sizes. I often line them. That's what this is here for, because I want to get rid of the lining too and to make them stable and sturdy. There's a little casing that you put up here at the top. Which I'm going to need to find some for these little bags. Here, I cut a ton of them. Let's use this red. I'm just doing some gift bags. Shim said I had to sew gift bags today, so here we are. This is it. We're hanging out and sewing together. I hope you're all sewing. I can do something else if you guys want. I almost made a pair of jean shorts today because I could really use another pair. Oh wait, this is too long. I want this like right, we'll put it right here. Oh, wow. That's no joke, Constance. All right. So, not that everyone here is in the guild or the Journeyist group, but, you know, I was a little worried about like all the things I promised for our next skill building session, which is the one pattern, many styles. So we're going to do like, I'm going to show you like, all right, if you have a pattern and you love the way it fits, or you just love it, you know how to sew it, you know, like what else can you do with it? You know, what are some ideas? And so I put this crazy ambitious list of things that you can do. If this isn't lined, how am I going to do this? Maybe I will do a little, I like that. Maybe instead I'll use these for the lined bag. But you know, I think what I'm going to do is, my goodness, you guys. Oh my gosh, Mary, that is crazy. That is intense. Oh, that's great, Jackie. CBD is it doesn't have THC in it. I think people do have that like stigma against it because they don't understand that it's not, I'm not an expert, but you know, it is definitely not what you think it is. That's so cool, Curtis. I'm so glad. Yeah, so this coming skill building session, like I said, is like 1 pattern mini styles, and we're going to do tops. And then we have another one in December, and it's on bottoms. And I had this crazy long list of things that I was going to show. And then I was like, what am I doing? I can't show all this in less than 2 hours. Like, you know, and even 2 hours is a really long time for these people to come here and watch me do something. So what I decided is that I can do it if I use miniature patterns, and I just show you the way that, you know, like Alice from Behind the Seams does it. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, yeah, Jackie, yeah. That's, I mean, whatever works. That's kind of intense. My husband had a hip replacement too. He had a metal hip. Oh my gosh, Constance, that's tripled. That's a lot. Let's see, what do I want to do here? If I do a little French seam there, and if I did a facing up here, what we could do is make a little, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a casing, a clunky casing. Let's go iron these 2 things first. Oh my goodness, Ray, hi. That was nice of you. Thank you, Ray. How are you? Why did I do one way and one the other? I did this one wrong. I did do this one wrong. Oh, this one's lined. This one's not. Okay. Now I know. Hopefully they're the same. Nice, Suzanne. Hi, Diane. We're just hanging out. Everyone is sharing their coping mechanisms for pain-related things. I'm sewing gift bags. Will I sew the jean shorts? Maybe someday. This month is kind of a weird month as far as the streams go, because I do, oh, please sew jean shorts. Oh, I didn't see your message. See if I would like a little vent in this, but I do a French seam. I think I'm going to do the same thing I just did on that other thing. I'm going to give myself an out right here. Yeah, you know, the Creston jeans just came out, and I've made myself a pair of shorts from that pattern, and I really love them. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just make some jean shorts. But you know what I'm thinking, Ray, is that I'm going to use that pattern to show you guys how to do quick fit, because the quick fit this month is about changing pants to shorts and shorts to pants. So I'm going to use the Creston jeans for that. So then, yeah, eventually I will get some jean shorts. I already did make myself a pair, but in all transparency, I had this crazy mishap when I was recording the video. Now you guys are all going to catch this in the video, but I had actually 2 crazy mishaps that were my fault. One was that I ended up recording, I thought I was recording like, okay, now this is how you sew the pocket, you know, blah, 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 right? You put the front pocket to it, right sides together. What I had done was I hadn't recorded that one, and then I was like, okay, now do your other side. And then I recorded my other side, but I wasn't talking, and I was just doing it really quickly. And so I probably pressed record twice, and so I started and stopped it. And so I was like, wait, what is this recording? I'm not talking. It's like I'm not being very, you know, like helpful. And I realized that's what had happened. I had not recorded the actual sewing. And so, so I had to record that again. I tried making it work. I could tell. So I had enough fabric to cut a pair of shorts out. And so I masked the fact that they were shorts in the video I tried to make it not obvious. And so, yeah, that's how I did that. So then I just finished sewing the shorts. So I didn't really convert the pattern or anything. Sorry, I'm choking. Oh, really, Mullen? Wow. With the oil, do you guys put it on your skin, or is that something you put in a drink or something? I'm just totally winging this. I'm making a little like hole for a tie. I used to do this all the time and I cannot think of how I did it. But I didn't do it with a French seam either. All right, so now we have this little hole, and then hopefully I can just line the top with this. Let's make it the right length. Oh, really? You put it under your tongue? Oh. Maybe I'll look for that. I don't really need it for pain, but I was thinking, well, I want a topical for my thumb. Aren't there topical anti-inflammatories? Like, why do we have to ingest it? Medosi. Oh. Man, this stream's not going to be so demonetized. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, see, that's what I think too, Beverly. I feel like when it calms my brain down, you know? Like with anxiety and stuff. I don't feel different. I just feel in control. Right, Rachel, exactly. It's fine. It's fine. There are far more explicit streams out there, right? We're fine. It's just sewing circles. Sometimes I don't even keep these. Well, I say I won't, and then I just forget to delete them because they're kind of rambly. All right, there we go. Oh, let's do this while this is inside out. Let's put some corners on the bag here. And let's do this one. My Christmas wrapping is going to be so fast this year. Oh. Voltaren? Oh, okay. Is it going on right now, Curtis? It's on Bravo? I thought it was on Amazon Prime. It's on Bravo again? Over-the-counter pain lotions. Wait. I missed something up here, yeah. Huh. But be careful. Okay. Well, I have an appointment on Monday with the physical therapist. I'll just ask them. I'm not going to do anything crazy. We're going to understitch this. This is flannel. See ya, Aisha. Did Rachel go to the lake already? If more people talked about their like pain and stuff, maybe there would be a lot more like people could, you know, narrow down some options that work for them. It switched for a bit to Lifetime is back on Bravo. Oh, I like Project Runway a lot. What's the one that's on Netflix? That one's just a little too, I don't know. I don't like the hosts as much. Not that I know who's hosting Project Runway. All right, so now I'm gonna do that. Like this. I gotta make sure it covers the casing hole that I made, remember? We're getting there. I should have folded this up before I started. Launch my line. Making the cut is the one I was thinking on. Oh, next in fashion is the one I'm thinking of, actually. Launch my line. God, there's a lot of fashion ones. You're leaving in 2 minutes? Cool. Have fun at the lake. That's cool. Do you like, what do you do? Do you just sit there? I can't sit places. When I was knitting, it was great. Like, I was like, yeah, let's go somewhere and sit. Ow, ow. There we go. It would have been a little bit like nice to have put the little casing in here as I did. Look, it's a little bit off. But once it's scrunched up, it's just a wee bag. It's just a baby. Bye, Rachel. Have fun. Oh, there's a boat too. That's nice. Okay. That's not the nicest casing, but I have all this pre-made. I use my binding attachment to do that. There we go. Let's see. We will pick. Oh, look, there's a nice little short one. That'll be perfect. So we'll thread that through with a safety pin. I'm going to pin this so I know I've earmarked it. There we go. Cool. This one will be a little easier, kind of, because I know what to do. So this one, we're going to put the casing right here. Let's see, I'm like looking at the, trying to line it up. So Curtis, what did you want to say about Project Runway? Is there something exciting about to happen? You can share with us. Tell me, I don't care if you spoil anything. I'd still watch it. And I'll forget what you tell me. I want to know. Ooh. That sounds really good. A key lime pie. I don't think I've ever had a key lime pie. We don't have a Marie Callender's here anymore. So like quick pie fix doesn't happen. We used to have this place called Sweet Cottage that made pie. Oh, so good. But she had to close. She had some health issues, unfortunately. All right, so now we have the lining. So this one, we just need to sew the sides like this. This one's a little bit like it's a couple extra steps, but in some ways it's a little less to think about. With a key lime pie, do you serve whipped cream with it? Would that be the thing? Ooh. You ate it all in one day. It's a custard pie, right? How do you use the lime? You type, okay. So is it kind of like a lemon meringue pie then? Lemon meringue isn't, I guess lemon pie is a custard. I have to leave a little hole to turn this all through. And now we just sew this. Well, we could actually do do we do the corners first? When do I do the corners? First, right? Right? It's a curd, right? That's what, okay, I was gonna say curd, then I was like, wait, do we make a whole pie of curd? I've made lemon meringue pie before, a few times actually. Definitely eyeballing my corners, I know. You use the key limes and it has sweetened condensed milk and egg yolks, shortened baking time, etc. Oh. Oh. Oh, really, Jackie? It's All Stars? Oh, I bet I know them all. I really liked Christian Siriano when he competed. I was glad he kind of got a piece of that show, you know, as a host. My mom's really into lemon things, so I make a really good lemon bar that I got from a Cook's Illustrated. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he hosted it. I thought that was a huge win for him especially, and the show. Okay, now I put this right sides together. Wait, I feel like am I twisting it? I am twisting it. There we go. Oops, I could see a lot of threads. No, that is not a good... Yeah, knitting in the summer was never a problem until I moved here. And I was like, oh, I don't like this. It's prickly. Okay, so now I'm going to pull it all through this little hole without ripping the hole. Now we're going to close the hole. Come on, thumb. You can do it. My hole is different. It's uneven, like the fabric. See that? That's why that happens. So let's tuck it in there. It really does not want to tuck in there. It's either that or it's probably cut off grain right there, like barely. And this lining fabric, it's not going to behave, you know. Oh, really, Jan? Hi, Jan. That's cool. I remember Austin Scarlett. I don't remember much, but I remember that name. How's camp? Are you, you're on the home stretch of camp, aren't you? Just in case y'all didn't know, Jan does makeup and hair for a theater camp. It sounds like kind of a prestigious one, too. Like it's like performance, right? All performances and stuff. People go pay to watch things. Okay. These are the weirdest looking little bags, but the most oversewn little bag. And then we put it's really cute. That one's really cute. I love the small size. All right, is this black at the end? It's probably not. So do we do purple? Oh, this is a short one. Yeah, we'll use this purple one here. Emerging artist, that's what it is, yeah. Someone's just walked into our building. I don't have my door shut. I'm always worried people will come in here thinking they can find a bathroom, you know? See, this kind of casing does make threading it a lot easier. And you don't want it to be cinched, by the way, but it also helps to get things in and out of the little bag. So now let's knot these together. And we have 2 little bags. 2 more weeks. Okay. This one's really cute. This is a spoonflower fabric. I saw someone mention it. I really liked that it had this kind of tattoo vibe with the little roses, you know. I used it in this, I've only been in a book once, and I used that fabric for the project that I submitted, because the theme was red, and I was like, oh, I don't want hearts. And it was a heart health book aimed at women, because heart disease is detected so infrequently in women because our warning signs are different. And so I also didn't want it to be kind of cliche and do heart fabric, you know. So I did bikes. I'll do one more gift bag and I'll probably call it, because I gotta get prepped for next week. Look at how good that one's cut. Ooh, good thing I checked. We want cats right side up. This right here is my fabric design. Oh, and then we do the sides. You could do this on the fold down here, but it just depends on what fabric you're using, right? So when I put a seam, I can use smaller pieces. Cut out. I gotta make the pattern. I'm gonna do it in Quick Fit. And Quick Fit's either next Friday or the following Friday. I think it's next Friday though. Promise, Ray. But now I'm feeling like I gotta sew those. Oh, I need a hole. I need to sew them on camera. See, the thing is, you guys, I'm sure you guys know this about Ray. Ray is so nice that even if she doesn't want jean shorts, and she probably doesn't, she just knows that I want a new pair of jean shorts. So she's trying to make it so that I have the opportunity to do it, because that's how nice she is. And I fixed that zip code thing, Ray. I don't know why I wrote that on my website. That's not my zip code. I would never ignore you. I cut out all my gift bags, so I have look at how many I have in there. That's a stack of them, each one. So these are some really big ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's probably like 8 or 9 in there. Big. Oh, that's good, Jackie. That's the best. Don't you like that, when you can just like half pay attention, chime in when you want? It's just nice background. My little not so secret thing that I like to do on Saturdays, which isn't very often, is some of you are going to be like, yeah, we know, Saremy, and the rest of you are going to be like, what? I love watching Fortnite competition. And so usually there's like finals or nationals or champion, I don't know, they have all these crazy names. Those are none of the names they use on Saturdays and Sundays. like they'll have EU, they'll have like the EUs early, and then they have North America. That's the server, not the region. It's the server that the players play on. They'll have that on Saturday afternoon. And I love that in the background. And then you can watch Endgame, and it's so exciting. Love that. But I understand the game, and I understand like what incredible skill it takes for these kids to do what they're doing. And it's just so exciting and cool to watch. I love it. It's like my ideal thing. I never used to understand watching sports. Like, I didn't have any hate against it, but I was just like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't sit there and watch sports. I would fall asleep anytime I sat with Michael watching hockey or soccer or whatever. It was kind of like this really nice background. I would fall asleep. And then I discovered watching Fortnite. Yeah, right, Jan? Exactly. I love it. I love having live streams on in the background. It's the best kind of nap thing for me. And I don't take that as like that I'm boring. I take that with a great compliment, because for me, there's a few streams that are just very comforting, you know? It's low stakes. So yeah. Your 13-year-old dance. Yeah. Oh, I bet. It's so amazing, like what they do. And even people that, like, if I have a friend that's like curious about it and we watch together, it's fun to be able to explain like what's happening and what's on the screen and why it's a cool thing that they just did or why it was dangerous. And I really know the game really well. So this is the side, right? Yep. I'm just trimming off these corners. I didn't on the unlined bag. I should have on that other lined bag. It'll just be less bulky, and I could feel it in there. This one here, I didn't trim the corners on this one. But, you know, it's fine. I needed more little bags. This is going to be great. Okay, this is, oh, and we need our little toppers, our casings. This is the Spoonflower color map. Makes fun fabric. I had to reprint mine. It was getting kind of old. So I bought a different one a few years ago. Oh. Wait, what? So if you want to know how to highlight the name, Suzanne, it's just when you tag somebody. Like for me, when you're, like when Ray just said at Jackie Turner, that is really cool. At Jackie Turner is not highlighted for me because I'm not Jackie Turner. But if she's actually, like, you don't have to tag me. I see all comments most of the time, right? If you tag me, I'm definitely going to see your comment better. But chat's moving really slow. I can keep up. But it will highlight for the person, whoever you tag. That's how they do that. All right, so this time let's be more methodical. We'll put this one in here. Like this, so that the numbers are, I usually, what I do is do this, you just make a little, a center. Then we don't have to worry about it, right? Yeah, and hopefully their name pops up. Sometimes, yeah, I don't think it works on a device. YouTube is very clunky about live streams compared to Twitch. Twitch is really sophisticated for live streams. That's my preferred place. I try and watch live streams on YouTube. I can never find anybody either. Okay, so now I have my little center notch. This one here. This is the bottom, okay. Uh-oh. I'm holding things. So I potentially have something promising happening with that show I told you guys about in Washington, Sew Expo. I'll let you know more when I know more, but I just want you to know that I have not dropped that ball. And someone else is making the ball really easy to hold on to right now. So hopefully that's going to work out, and I'll definitely keep you updated. So maybe we're planning some Washington shenanigans with each other. It'd be so fun to see you guys. I'll be the one passing out CBD gummies for all of us. Look at how ravelly this fabric is. All right, now let's do I usually get it going, turn it inside out, poke it in the bag like this. I just love it when everything lines up. It's just something super satisfying with sewing, isn't it? I still feel that way. When everything lines up, it's just like, okay, this is what I signed up for, you know? Okay, now return it to the hole. All right, so my 5th anniversary for So is coming up on the 25th, so 20 days from now. It's on a Friday. I'm gonna do a live stream. Someone asked, they want my top 5 makes I've made. I'm kind of curious to know how many things we've made on the live stream. I also don't think it matters that much too. I don't do things to impress. I'm curious just because I'm like, okay, well, I want to know what percentage 5 is of that number, you know? So yeah, what kind of interfacing would peeps use for super fine lawn, like less than 3 ounce? Oh, I don't actually know the ounces of my interfacing. What about just another layer of the lawn? Would that be enough? Because lawn has such a lovely quality about it, right? Like it's kind of drapey. Cat in the bag. Chalk cats. Oh, this isn't even binding. This is like something else. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's too small. Do I have another one like that? I have this. Oh, here's another. Why do I have all these like pieces? I keep thinking probably I'll make them work. Oh, this is also pre-folded binding. Okay. Oh, here we go. This works. I pieced a bunch of random binding pieces together and then ran them through my binding attachment. That's why I have this weird string of them. Weird string. I think the tricot could work. I think it just depends like what you're using for it, because the tricot is pretty, what I like about it is it feels the most, it keeps the fabric feeling the most like fabric, because it kind of like really blends in with it, right? It's not, it doesn't feel like it's on the surface as much as like the Pellon stuff is. It isn't incredibly lightweight though. I would use it on the lawn. I just feel like other people might be like, oh, I wanted something softer, you know? So if it were on a collar, maybe I would use it, collar stand, maybe cuffs, placket, things like that. Say it's a facing of a like slit placket. Maybe I would use it if it's not going to be stitched to the garment. That might be a little boardy. Just depends. Oh, you don't need to sew it right now, so you can, oh, okay, so you have some time. Oh, yeah, these guys are great to ask. I'm really glad you're asking then, because one is plaid. Okay, yeah. So yeah, they like the fashion fabric, fashion sewing or something like that. And then there's another one that they like. What's that one, that binding one called, Terry, that you like? What is it called? Terry and Shim are great to ask for this. And there's a few others here that know. This one looks cute. Wig. No. What's the website that you like? That's not the fashion sewing supply place. I got 3 little gift bags done. Let's do one more that's not lined. We'll do a Christmassy one. Because look, I got all this Christmas stuff too. One more, but I need the tops. Okay. These are Christmassy tops. Not Way Whack. Bias Bespoke. Do they sell binding? I mean, interfacing? Oh, Barb's Bags. Okay. And Way Whack. Yeah, Way Whack could be an option. Okay, this one's not Christmassy, but you know, it's got bees on it, but it's gold. You want a shirt in this check fabric? You can do that. You can buy this at Hearts Fabric. It's actually slightly stretchy. It's crisp. The colorway is called Watermelon, so you can't ask for more than that, right? Do I just do full-on plaid for this whole bag? I don't think these pieces are long enough. I could do snowflakes. I like the snowflakes. We're doing snowflakes. Never mind, I don't need your help. I also have presents. The presents are kind of bright, but they kind of go, you know? We have 3 of these. I think that's actually good. Having an odd number is good because I'm going to have to piece this together. I made the Ellsworth in this fabric, the Merchant and Mills Ellsworth. I think I'm gonna ask for that one back if they let me have it. They may want it, I don't know. All right. We'll do one more bag. And I'll have done 4. That's pretty good. Yeah, right, Raquel? How's it going? How are you? Yeah, I was glad I had a little piece left over because, you know, I had to match this plaid and it was one way, so it was kind of shocking. But that pattern, there wasn't a whole lot of plaid matching to happen because I had the cut-on sleeve. You can kind of, you know, get away with not matching so much. Oh! I thought I'd picked these for all of them. Oh, well. We're doing snowflakes. All right, tell me what movies you guys have watched lately. Curious. Movies that not in the theater. Everyone's like, oh. Oh, you know, there's a mobile groomer. Like, I'd never seen this. Oh, yeah, Raquel, that's awesome. I love to hear that. I almost did the mulch mats today, but I had all these gift bags. So, yeah, I just noticed in like the valley, there's like, I'm only on Facebook for this one group, and it's for the valley I live in, just for fire prevention and stuff like that. And I'd never seen this person post there before, so apparently I'm late to the party, but they do a mobile dog nail clipping. So that's kind of cool. All right, so we need to do this. I can do the French seams on the sides. Can I match this? Oh. Is this really matching? This isn't really matching, is it? It's kind of. Edge of Tomorrow. Okay. That's like, is that the Mission Impossible? No, that's James Bond. Who's the dishy McDish in it right now? Mythbusters in the beginning. Nice. Wait, oh, Bastille Day. Is that a movie? I'm like, is it Bastille Day? It's not Bastille Day. I'm always aware of Bastille Day because of the Tour de France. Oh, Justified. Tom Cruise and Emily. Oh, okay, yeah. Edge of Tomorrow. Okay, I knew it was either Mission Impossible or... And maybe it's not Mission Impossible, but it's because I knew it was Tom Cruise. Maudie, not Maddie. Is that the name of the show? The movie? Maudie, about a Canadian folk painter. Oh, that sounds cool. What's Justified about? Is that like a... What's that one about? I want to watch the one that's out right now by AMC, and it's the what's it? It's got an interesting name. It's like a Native American crime drama. I think Canadian also. It's on AMC. What's that one called? Is that AMC? Wait, okay. U.S. Marshals story. Oh, okay. Justified. Justified. Maudie. Okay, Maudie. All right. I finished like 3 series at once recently, you know. What do I think I'm doing here? I have to cut. I'm cutting this off. I was supposed to do the bottom of the bag first. We're doing a French seam this time. I would have done the bottom of the bag first and then the sides. But no, I had to make it complicated. Dark Sky! Thank you, Kirsten. Bad Sisters was really funny. And 50 First Dates. That show is really good. It stresses me out, but I like it. Oh, yeah, there you go, Constance. That's a great idea. Oops. No. We're going to just do this a little backwards here. Probably should have ironed it to do this French seam. It would look nicer. Oh, I'm so glad you liked that, Terry. It was so good, wasn't it? Oh, I loved that show. My husband and I've already watched the first season of Foundation, and I've been waiting for like 2 years for them to say there's going to be another season, and another one just came out. So I got my husband hooked on it, and we just finished the first season. So now I finally get to watch new episodes of that, but I have to wait when he's not watching soccer to do that. Death in Paris. Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one. Okay, so now we can do the bottom. I'm gonna do this wrong sides together first. This has a center mark up there, so let's do this one down here. That foundation is Apple. Apple shows are really good. Like that one's been well worth having. I like it. I wouldn't give that one up. I'd give up others. Okay, come on, thumb. You can do this. You can do this. I keep forgetting this is a stretch woven. That seam looks a little wavy. Okay. We don't have to do the lining, which is kind of nice, you know. Sloppy bag sewing. So many colors in this fabric. I love it. Every time I look at it right here, like I just love these two together. I love this right here with the red. I just love all the color combinations in this fabric. The green and the black right there. And because they did like, you know, a different warp and weft for the weaving, it's got that kind of, you know, two color thing going on. Love it. I know nothing about weaving. You know what I mean? Like when you look at it close, see it looks kind of like charcoaly there, but it's because it's got the two different colors. Yeah, you know, my mom is the biggest Outlander fan. Man, she is the biggest Outlander fan. And she was a big fan before it kind of got really big, because we were in Scotland and Ireland, and my mom would be like, you know, like just talking about the books. This was over 20 years ago. And I've read almost all the books, and they're fine. They're good books. It's just not my thing. Night, Mullen. Have a good weekend. And the series, it's fine too. It's really good. It's just not my kind of thing, you know? I like period stuff. I don't like romance. You can judge me all you want, but I'm not a big fan of romance. We were just watching something the other day, and I was like, oh, God, they're kissing. And my husband started laughing so hard. I was like, what, you like this part? Oh, you left Jamie caught with the villain? Wow, Raquel, that's harsh. See, yeah, there's like certain things about it. Yeah, a little stressful, huh? Okay, how am I going to finish this edge up here? So what I could do is just hem this top edge. Right, we need to do the corners too down here. So we'll do these corners. See if we can be a little intentional about them since it's a plaid. Shenanigans. What kind of shenanigans are you up to, Curtis? Pretty excited about the 3-body problem. Netflix next year, but not announced yet officially. What's the 3-body problem? What's the problem? What 3 bodies? Wait, I need to know more about this. Is that a book that you read? And they made it into a series? I'm not going to cut those off. I could, like it wouldn't fray that much down there at the bottom of the bag, but sometimes having a little bit to fold will help the bag kind of stay open too, you know? All right, so now let's turn it and we'll just hem the top while we think about, we'll think about what we did. No, we'll think about how we're going to attach this casing up here clean finished. Just gonna hem it. I'm thinking maybe I could insert it in this hem. No, I'm not going to do that because I don't like the way that'll hang. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm bending the seam allowance the right direction, or pushing it the right direction. What's the date today? The 5th, okay. See, with gift bags, you don't really need to add a handle. I've also made them without, you know, casing, but maybe just attach some ties, like just attach them, because then you can kind of fold things and then tie it down. It's coming out in January, but what's it about? What does that mean? Free body problem. Is it like a health and wellness thing? Is it a murder mystery? Were there 3 dead bodies? These are the things I'm wondering. Okay, so let's see here. What we could do is, let's mark our center so we know where this needs to go. Oh, it's sci-fi? Preserve the much reviled Benioff Chinese sci-fi. Oh. Much reviled? That just sounds so drama llama. Wait, I don't know who that is in relation to Game of Thrones. Who is that? You've got me all interested now. It was very drama llama. Oh, I know what we'll do. Okay, I'm gonna put this like right sides together here, but we'll put it kind of lower. In fact, maybe we'll do it like, line it up with the seam there, kind of. And then we'll enclose it. We'll fold it up kind of like a French seam in some ways. A budget French seam. There was a trailer. Oh, okay, cool. I'll check it out. Yeah, I really liked Foundation. Shalva says I need to read the books now. But she said wait till I'm done with the series. All right, I'm gonna trim. I should have trimmed these threads. Oh, there's my loop turner. Trim some of these threads here. I really need to trim a lot of this down, actually. I should have thought about that or done a smaller seam allowance. You know, like I need more space to stitch that down. Do you? Right? Oh, I should have trimmed this. Ow. Yeesh. Yeesh. I'm going to fold it up and enclose this raw edge like a pocket flap. That's what I mean to say. Like a pocket flap. You know how you enclose the raw edge. Speaking of pockets, I don't know if you're interested, but Alice & Company Patterns, Alice & Co., they have a charity event coming up on August 16th. You can go to their website and look at online courses, and it's right there. It's like a pink little thumbnail thing. And it's their 5th anniversary, and they're doing a charity event. And I'm the guest that's going to demonstrate sewing pockets. So I think it's free to come. And if you can buy a raffle ticket for the charity aspect, and then you can also maybe win prizes because of that. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So, I think the raffle tickets are like $10 each. But if you want to hang out with me and them and do some pocket stuff, it'll be a Zoom, but they're very low key and they're very good at their Zooms. They're really good. I really like them. That works, right? I didn't get the stitching great right there. See that? But that's clean finished. Not the best way to do this. Oh no. But it works. There's the other center. Here we go. Put it right here. And we're going to trim this down now. We're going to trim down the threads, actually. And we're going to do a much smaller seam allowance this time so we don't have to trim it. Benioff and Weiss were absolutely dragged for the last... Oh, did they write the last season of Game of Thrones? Yeah, it was terrible. I was like, the only thing I can think of that was bad about the show Game of Thrones was the last season. I guess I knew. I've read those books and watched the series. All right. What was that? I just saw something flip around up here. Bespoke means like custom, tailored, trendy. No, not trendy. It's a trendy way of saying it. It is a bespoke because it's one of a kind, you know. Okay. Let's put a tie in it. What should we pick? I think this one. Oh, this one looks really good. It's kind of Christmassy. Or this mistletoe one. I mean, do we care how it looks? This one looks like Christmas lights. I like this one here, though. This red one. These are all separate. Ooh, look at these threads, though, coming out of my French seam here. The bag should be made for the exact gift. Yeah, true. I must be the only person who never watched a single episode of Game of Thrones. Mistletoe. You like the mistletoe? Should I do the mistletoe? We can do the mistletoe. I have a lot of it. Save the plaid? Okay. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Terry. I feel like bespoke is used more in the men's space, men's tailoring space. Exactly. Okay, here's my last bag. Saving the plaid is always a good idea when, you know, we know the plaid will be good, right? Did I get that? Okay, good. I try not to get it too twisted. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I have a lot of opinions about Game of Thrones. I liked the series for the most part. Like, I liked it a lot, you know. It's a complicated world. like the people and characters are everybody affects everybody, and there are a lot of people in it. Like there's so many people in it. And the names can be confusing because, just like J.R. Tolkien, they named people very similar names and they have nothing to do with each other. So it can be really confusing. When I read the books, I started reading them, and then because I wanted to reread them, and then I was like, oh yeah, I can't do this. I'm gonna have to do this as an audiobook because I needed to not be concentrating on certain aspects of it so I could understand it. So I listened to the audiobooks. I've told this story before. I listened to the audiobooks, which are okay. The first few are okay. It's the same narrator throughout the series, but he changes the voices from book to book. He's not consistent, and he has one voice for all women, and it is the voice of a 95-year-old crone witch who lives in a cottage in the forest. Like that's the voice he has for all women, no matter if they're 14 years old, 25 years old. It doesn't matter. He has one voice. It's terrible. So you got to get over that. And it can be confusing because you're like, wait, this is Arya? Why does she sound 95 all of a sudden? So that was my only thing about that. So here's the other thing that I found really helpful if you end up doing the audio version is, and I'm really good. I'm a big time reader. I've listened to hundreds of audiobooks. I would read the wiki because I started missing really important things because there's so much subtle things that happen in there that are life-changing, story-altering events that happen in that book. That's why they're so addictive, because it's like, oh my gosh, like nobody is sacred in this series, and that makes it really exciting, that the author is not going to at all costs save their people, right? It's realistic that way. I had to read the wiki, and that was great. I would finish the book, and then that night as I was going to bed, I would skim the wiki and make sure I got all the highlights of that book, which was great. And then I would listen to the next book. And then when I went to watch the series, I had a much deeper understanding of what was happening and who the people were because I'd read the books. But still, I found it really useful if I had my little, like I write a family tree inside of a book every time. Every time a new character comes on, I write them in and I draw a line who it connects to and where they are, because otherwise it's a really big world. That helped me. It's because my husband is so good at following that stuff. He was so lost. I'd be like, no, that's so-and-so from so-and-so, and that's the land. Remember, that's the guy that did that, and we saw him in the first episode, and it's been 10 episodes, and we have not seen this guy since. So, yeah, exactly, Suzanne, yeah. So, it's a really good story. It's a very good world. It's a good story. There's a lot of really unique elements to it for fantasy, and I really like it. It's a little bit oppressive to women, so if you watch the series, I just want you to know the women do okay, but they don't at the beginning, and that's all I'm going to say, because it's hard. Like, I was kind of like, oh my God, like they really like this kind of thing in these series. Like you just, as a woman, I just get sick of seeing it, And there's a lot of that at the beginning, but... and the last season is not great, but you have to also know that the books stopped before the series on HBO did. Everyone knows that. The first series they did after the books was so good. They explained certain things that so genius. I was pretty proud of them. I was like, yeah, you guys did good. The last one, so anyway, I have a lot of thoughts on Game of Thrones, and I know it really well, but if you quiz me, I couldn't answer anything because the names are still so confusing to me. I would have to be like, get everything out and look at it and like get oriented. So yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. Just what Suzanne said, especially towards women at the beginning. Like it is a little bit like, what the heck, But at least there's women in the story, not like Lord of the Rings, which I love Lord of the Rings, but there's literally 2 women in that whole story, It's crazy. You didn't understand the outrage of the final... I didn't have outrage over it. I just felt like the last season was a little lackluster. I was like, wait, what? So, did you guys watch the spinoff though? I think it's called House of the Dragon. It's pretty good. It predates the Game of Thrones story. It's pretty good. Yeah, it felt rushed. Yeah. I liked House of the Dragon. It was really good. Definitely, you know, why is it that all worlds, why isn't there a world where it is kind to women in the past? You know, like, why is that hard to like be the norm? I don't understand. Why is that hard to be the norm? Why do we have to go through that? You know, like, I don't want to go through that every series and then we have to triumph. Like, why can't we just start with the triumph and then have a story? Why does it have to be about that? You know, it's like, don't people realize how exhausting it is to see that every single time? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I just am like, yeah. Okay. So fun fact, though, in Game of Thrones, the show, the two people who played Joel and Ellie for The Last of Us came from Game of Thrones. And one of them is the young woman, she's a child in it. And she's like the leader of her country. And she was so good. And I remember going, oh, I love this kid. I don't know who she is, but I am fixated on her. Like, I did not want to take my eyes off her. And I couldn't believe she was Ellie. It was so exciting. The Wheel of Time is pretty good for women. Yeah, have you read those books, Jan? I have read 14 of those books. Wait, have I read 14 of them? I've read a lot of the Wheel of Time series. The women are very strong, but they never evolve. Nobody evolves in that story. And that's it's a really good world. It's a really unique situation. I really appreciate that. And the women are the exact same person, book after book. I'm like, literally, you are going through life-changing things and you are not evolving. So it kind of gets tiring. Like, okay, come on, can you say anything but that? So watch Ape Empire. Pretty sure it's been going on that long. Ape Empire documentary. Okay, I'll check that out. I like The Witcher. I've read those books too. I like The Witcher. It's also a video game. I've not played the video game. It's a well thought of video game. I have it. I just haven't played it. Maybe it's my time because I probably don't have to crouch in it. I don't have to use R3. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry my camera is so bleached out today. Yeah, The Witcher is really, it's a really interesting world. My sister got me hooked on this other series. It's kind of famous too. What's it called? It's also Brandon Sanderson, which is Wheel of Time. I can't think of it. It's all element based, which I like. I think that's unique. You don't see element based fantasy very often. It's really cool. So element, yeah. What is that about? I can't remember the name of it. He's written so many books. He's not like my favorite author or anything. He's fine. So, no, Stormlight. No, that's an easy word. It's not that easy. I can look it up. Do you want me to look it up? My Audible library. It'll be here. Pretty sure. We'll just look up Sanderson. Mistborn. It's the Mistborn series. Do I really have all of these? Rhythm of War. Oh, because those are all the Wheel of Time. Yeah. Mistborn. I will say, I started Mistborn and I just was like, okay, I'm so confused, right? If you like fantasy, I've listened and read a lot of fantasy. I like all kinds of things. I like high fantasy, but not too, battle driven or Mistborn, like mist in the air. And it's one word. So yeah. I put that one down, and then my sister was saying, look, did you see there's another one in the series? And I was like, oh, let me write this down. And then I always look in my Audible to see if I've already got it because I never remember the titles. And I'm like, oh, Laura, I have this one. I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't finish this one. She goes, oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. And I gave it a try. My sister reads a book a day. She's a very prolific reader, and I trust anything she says. And so I gave it a try, and she was right. It's really good. It's a really good world. Oh, really, Suzanne? The Ape Empire has kind of cheesy narration, like a lot do, but was shocked about the human, like, social factors and not in a good way. Ooh. I'll look that one up, Ape Empire. You guys made me write one down the other day, too. I put it in my wish list. All right, I'll let you guys go. Thanks for hanging out and sewing. I hope you guys got some stuff done. Look at this. We got our little gift bags. We got buttonholes. And Loki got a reflective dog collar. This thing turned out really nice, actually. Cone of shame. I won't be here next week streaming, I don't think, right? But the following week, I'm going to be doing the Sintra halter top by Liesl & Company, or Oliver Ness, however you look at it. And I will be doing the pocket party with Alice & Co. And if you're in the guild, I'll see you for all kinds of stuff because we have skill building session on making pattern with many different aspects. And it's going to be hopefully very instructive and very simple and quick so we can get through a lot of them. And then quick fit is on changing pants to shorts, right? So I'm not streaming the last week because I have to go on a little trip and I don't want to stress about it. So, and it's my anniversary, so I might as well just take the week off. I still have guild stuff, so. Yeah, have a great weekend, you guys. Thanks for hanging out and sewing with me. There were a lot of you here. It's kind of surprised. So have a good one, and I'll see you in the guild if you are in there, and other places probably, yeah. So, bye.